we've lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on a giant screen with the few colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading
It's
about.
showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
We're delighted to have you with us. They're driving theater.
You'll find something to please you to add to your evening's enjoyment.
Is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Drive-In Speaker Box. It is February 9th, 2026. We are in the studio live once again. I'm your host, Bo, the boom operator.
And I'm a very professional slick doggy, the grip.
Professional is what we do best here at the Drive-In Speaker Box. We bring you our professional opinions on film, TV, news, movies, all that fun stuff. We caught some movies this weekend. We're going to be talking about those movies. I finally got a chance to go see Dracula, a love story, although it's just called Dracula over
I was
here.
going to say, did it have that subtitle?
That was the working title, but they dropped that part here in the States, which is a spoiler alert to my review. Is I think that that's important to know. Shout outs over here to one of our viewers on Twitch, Vince, 55-month sub streak.
Absolutely crushing it.
That's amazing. Big shout outs to our boy Vince over there. And if you are not listening to this live, if you're downloading this podcast, wherever it is you download podcasts, that's tight. We love you. Thank you. Give us a thumbs up or a review or however Spotify works. But if you want to get in on the fun and the action and the chat over here on the screen, we do this live every Monday night at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Just wherever it is you like to watch live streams. We do it in 3 different ways. You can find all the links on our link tree at drivingspeakerbox.com. So with all that out of the way, let's talk about the news because it's been a week and some stuff happened. Right, there was a Super Bowl that happened, and there was like the Scream ad that you've already been seeing like 400 times within an additional 10 seconds. Like there was movies that they talked about. You know, another Doomsday teaser for Avengers, which I could really care less about. What, you don't care? You don't care about Avengers?
I sure don't. I did one thing that I saw on the news was people were like, hey, so since Marvel's really in the dumps and no one really cares about it, are they going to fire Kevin Feige or what? And then
when?
As soon as I opened the article to read it, they're like, nah, he's safe. He's making Avengers Doomsday. They're not going to do anything. I'm like, oh, clickbait bullcrap.
Everything's clickbait bullcrap. This timeline that we're in.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, Jake over. So Vince on Twitch says, Jake says we have to say the big game because we don't want to get sued by the NFL. The big game. It's the superb owl.
Oh yeah.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah, there was a Pixar teaser for Hoppers, which looks like another Pixar movie with animals doing people things.
Yeah, that one,
my
that's
favorite.
been out there for a while. I mean, what really can they add to the trailer to make it more interesting?
Nothing. They already ruined it with CGI animals doing people things.
Well, but it's not just that. It's the brain of a person transmitted into an animal who then encounters the animals and convinces them to do people things.
Yeah, I guess. Well, let's take it. It's another layer of intellectual prowess.
Because they're all out in the woods doing, well, I guess they're doing people things because there's like King of the Beavers or whatever.
Yeah. So,
and then she
it's
convinces
just
them,
animal oligarchies and
she
monarchies.
convinces them to do people things in front of people.
Whoa. You remember that movie? What was that movie with, oh, geez. It was, I can't even believe I'm blanking out. It was called Animal Kingdom, I believe. Do you remember that one? You don't remember Animal Kingdom? It was like the movie that made why? Because Encino Man. Why am I blanking on Brendan Fraser? I love Brendan Fraser. What am I talking about? But it was like the movie that sent him into insanity retirement. It was so bad, and it was about.
It wasn't Monkey Bone. I
no,
thought
hey,
for sure it was Monkey Bone.
You keep Monkey Bone out of your mouth.
Okay, yeah, that's a deal.
Okay, good.
Because
Monkey Bone is
in that
a good movie.
In the lore of that movie, he wants to be in your mouth, and I'd prefer
Monkey
that
Bone's a
not to
good
happen.
movie. and you can just
Calling that a good movie.
it's Henry Selick having to deal with human actors for the first time ever. He didn't want to have to do it, but they made him do it, and
Like you're like a wall of good movies. You're like, Temple of Doom's the best one. I'll fight you for it.
well, it's true.
Monkey Bone's a great movie.
I didn't say Monkey Bone was the best movie. I just said Monkey Bone needs a little bit of grace. Okay, it just needs a little bit of grace and understanding.
I watched it when it was brand new, and I was hyped about it.
Yeah,
and
me
I
too.
witnessed it,
and I
firsthand.
left hyped about it. And
Really?
I was like, man, not exactly what I wanted out of Selick, but I'm happy that I saw it. Because again, it took a lot of chances.
That's when Brendan Fraser was still on top of the world, and Chris Kattan was
Chris Kattan was
really
people
funny.
still thought he was funny.
Yeah.
It was kind of like Cool World. Cool World rolled a lot of dice, and it didn't resonate with a lot of people, but it was still a very cool movie for a lot of cool reasons.
Cool World would be cool if it didn't have its like pacing problem.
Movie. Let's see. Somebody said there's no Furry Vengeance. It wasn't Animal Kingdom. It was Furry Vengeance. My bad. 2010 live action family comedy starring Brendan Fraser as a real estate agent developer whose housing subdivision project is sabotaged by local wildlife. Fraser plays Dan Sanders, who faces off against a raccoon-led band of forest animals in this comedy. Also starring Brooke Shields, and it focuses on the environmental consequences of habitat destruction. Those animals are like, we're going to do people things in front of people.
It's like an anti-Doolittle.
Yes. And they're like, okay, well, they're going to come destroy our forest. And, it wasn't a good movie. But, the crazy thing about some of these movies that we look back in like 2010 and 2000s and we're like, man, those were so bad. You go back and watch them through today's lens and you're like, hey, that was actually pretty damn good. What the fuck is wrong with Hollywood now?
Because somebody put effort even into like the most terrible movies back then. Or it was at least an idea that was not an everyday run-of-the-mill thing.
Uh-huh. So, Furry Vengeance. I saw it in theaters because I was like, Brendan Fraser, yes, please. And then I was like, ooh, what have I done? And I'm pretty sure if Velvet Santa was watching the show, he'd probably find the episode of where I reviewed this in 2010 on the drive-in speaker box because I'm sure there's an episode of it.
Man, there's movies I watched in the movie theater that everyone hated, and I was like, it wasn't that bad. Like RV. Or The Pacifier.
So I'm gonna stop whatever. I wasn't even listening because I was blind with rage because in the comments, one of our Twitch viewers just said, Vince, he said, so send all your hate DMs to @Poochie Vince. He said, you said the Beatles suck, which I did in the pre-show. Sorry, anyone out there. Actually, not sorry, fuck the Beatles. But it says, I'm going to give my hot take and say Brendan Fraser is way overrated and The Mummy sucks.
Why are you attacking The Mummy, dog?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
What are you doing?
You're about to get permabanned. Thank you,
Our
Brian.
biggest supporter. You're going down, dude.
Brian in Twitch commented and said, "Oh, those are fighting words.
My
Those
God,
are
dude,
fighting words."
Encino Man is so good. Airheads is
is good.
Dude, the Bedazzled remake is really
Is
good.
actually pretty dang good. The Mummy is a cinematic
Mummy
masterpiece.
1 and 2 are both really good until
really
you
good.
get to the Scorpion King at the end of Mummy 2. But up to that point, it's a really
And you
good.
saw that recent movie where he was the
in Japan.
and you said that was really good.
It was very good.
And in that shitty DC show where he played the robot, he was actually the best part of the whole show.
He is the best part of that entire show.
Brendan Fraser is good. You shut your dirty whore mouth. And we don't need those kind of hot takes. You can save them for the Turning Point version of the drive-in speaker box if you.
Oh, is that what's being broadcast simultaneously?
Simultaneously in our show, they're
as a
like,
screw you to us.
no, you're gonna have Kid Rock come and tell us what movies he likes the best, and it's just
Hey man,
what okay,
you know, as Kid Rock said, only God knows why. My guy.
oh man, just
I remember when he did that, he's like, I'm done with the rap thing. And changed up, and then he just went.
ba with a ba.
That's how it went.
Anyway, what else is going on in the news before we talk? Oh, there was another big game ad where speaking of CGI animals that I can't stand looking at, there was Baby Crypto, the super dog.
That's the one Super Bowl trailer thing I did watch was the new Supergirl.
They're pulling a Grogu with it. They're like, you know what? Let's get a character that everybody thinks is cute and make it a baby.
It's
And they did it with
Supergirl.
Groot. They did it with Yoda. They're doing it with this puppy.
Supergirl just looks dumber and dumber the more that we see of it. And, man,
I can't.
DC's going to just tank again so hard. People are coming around to the fact that they're like, that Superman movie was not good. Like they were blinded by wanting it to be good, to have this DC universe.
It's like when you're starving for something and you're on a desert island and you hadn't had food for a week and you eat a beetle and you're like, this is the best food I've ever had in my life. Well, no, dude, you're eating a beetle's ass.
Yeah, and now that it's the only DC thing sitting out there for them to watch with nothing else on the near horizon, that's been there in time to like taste it, to get its taste out of your mouth, people are like, now that I've sat on that Superman movie for a minute, it kind of is
sucked.
not great.
The Mr. What was his name? Mr. Everything, Mr. Smarty Guy, Mr. Know It,
Mr. Terrific.
Mr. Terrific. He was the best part of the whole movie. Just watching him throw balls at everything, I was like, this is the only thing I care about because everything else I hate. And he was the only comic book accurate looking character.
Metamorpho.
Okay, he was also pretty comic book accurate looking.
Yeah.
But that movie was terrible.
I don't think that. No.
It was. Merle coming in with the Twitch comment. They gonna bankroll Baby Falcor next. If they did a Baby Falcor, if they did a Neverending Story reboot,
Baby Luck Dragon.
If they did a Neverending Story reboot, turn around,
a prequel.
Tell me what you see.
Don't do a reboot. Do a prequel.
Baby Falcor, give me your money.
Yeah.
All the stupid toys lining all the shelves. You dumbass fucking Baby Falcor.
Neverending Story already has the whole baby thing going because there's the baby rock eater from the get-go. And I love the rock eaters, man. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Neverending Story is sick.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. Neverending Story. You didn't even let me get to the story.
Oh, wow.
Do watch our text drown. Yeah. Sorry.
Hey,
sorry, kids.
Speaking of cool things from the 80s that people should just leave the hell alone. So this new Masters of the Universe, where they're making all the same mistakes as the last time again, and it just looks like poo-poo. They're all touting that the Jared Leto Skeletor is the embodiment of toxic masculinity, and that's what needs to be defeated.
And that's why we cast Jared Leto.
Skeletor is the embodiment of evil. He's just evil. He doesn't need to be some weird modern.
That's why he's
your
made of
version of subsector of whatever
That's also
you don't
why he's
like.
made of bones.
He's evil.
He's just bad.
He's just bad.
He's just bad.
Why do you need to make him something different besides just
So
pure evil?
Do you remember, like, what was it? Was it Rambo or was it John Rambo?
Skeletor don't even got a ding dong, man. How can he be?
He got a bone, though. Actually, he doesn't, because Bacula it only exists in other mammals, not humans. So he doesn't even have a dick bone. He doesn't have it. Yeah, he doesn't have one.
Maybe they don't have those in Eternia.
They don't.
Maybe they all do have them in Eternia.
Like all dudes have baculums.
Maybe. I mean, their muscles are like 3 times bigger than
They are.
any
They're just like,
living human. Yeah, I'm man at arms. Yeah,
He's man at what? He's man at third arms. Hey yo,
man at third legs. Yeah, Orko's the only one, but Orko's not from Eternia, right? He's
no,
from
he's
like
from
a different
place.
dimension.
Yeah, he's a different dimension.
Yeah.
He's just there by oopsie daisies.
No, he does
but
that a
the
lot.
eagle chick, she's just like, oh, come over here and help us, and I'm gonna just stay here with all my infinite magic and never freaking help at all.
Yeah. So, man, just.
And boring old Castle Grayskull, like what a dusty old fart. Like that place was stupid looking. And then you got
in the trailer or
just
real?
in period.
Oh, dude, I like the original toy of Castle Grayskull was so cool though.
No, it was not, Snake Mountain was so better.
Dude, but you got to open up Grayskull
and Snake Mountain.
But it had a face. Grayskull had a face.
Snake Mountain had 2 snakes. One that you could talk into that had the spring that was like, I'm bad guy. And then the other one, like you like flick it and it goes and it knocked the bad guy off.
I mean,
like
I guess
when the heroes are trying to come up the ladder and you knock them into the pit.
I didn't have one, so I mean,
yeah. You were told. See, this is why this dynamic works. Is he had Grayskull growing up. I had Snake Mountain. He had a Nintendo. I was a Sega. Like,
That's true.
That's the thing. We're the yin and the yang.
That's pretty cool.
And together.
Dude. Yeah, if we want to fusion dance it, yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, man. Leave our things alone. Quit ruining them. So Supergirl and Master of the Universe are going to both be big poo poo. Hey, but you know what? What else was in the news is everyone's favorite nerd man, Henry Cavill, is apparently out there just defending Warhammer as hard as he can against every Amazon encroachment to ruin it. They're like, oh,
he's the last just Marine out there. Just
he's standing on the hill of his dead brothers, and he only has like so many bolter rounds left, and he's the ancient with the banner of the chapter, and he's just defending it against the encroaching Amazon like Tyranids, ready to devour everything and take it all for themselves. So I mean, there just keeps being reports of Cavill out there being like, no, don't do that. Hey, stop. No. And he like keeps shutting it down. And then whenever they leave the writing room, he stays behind to like red mark everyone's like dumb crap. No. Just being like, no, not allowed. You can't do this. People will literally find us and kill us if you do this. Don't do that.
Are they gonna tackle orcs? That's all I want to know. Because the Wog is the only thing I care about in the Warhammer universe.
Well, so people wonder who Cavill's going to be, right? Is he going to be?
He's a Marine.
He's going to be Eisenhorn.
Okay.
Is he going to be Inquisitor Eisenhorn, or is he going to be Lieutenant Titus, Captain Titus? He's going to be Titus from Space Marine. Because if he's Titus from Space Marine, and they do the sum of the story from the first Space Marine game. Space Marines. That would be really cool.
Okay.
With the orcs and everything.
Because the orcs, I'm telling you, the orcs are what kind of got me interested in Warhammer.
Because they're Cockney fungus.
They're fungus. And and it's kind of cool. And they're like the cool thing, and I'm not a huge Warhammer lore guy like this guy, and we don't want to bore you forever, but the cool thing that they're not like Warhammer orcs. They're so stupid, but their belief is so true that if they believe hard enough, they will it into existence.
That's overplayed a lot, but essentially, like
they're like, this thing is the fastest because I painted fire on it, and they're like, and they believe it, and then it goes fast, and it's like,
like
that's
they
kind
have
of rad.
Engines and jets and things that
shouldn't work.
They have like no oil. They haven't been maintained. They're full of rust, but they're working because the orcs are like,
they believe in it.
It works. Or they have buttons that launch their ships that are just big rocks, and they can survive in space, and the button works because they're like, oh yeah.
And the reason I like
this is how space works.
The reason I like the orcs is they remind me of the Tick, who is my favorite comic book character.
They're just so dumb,
but they're so powerful that if they were as smart as they were powerful, they would be unstoppable.
Yeah.
But they're so stupid that
they have to be that dumb, otherwise you wouldn't be able to stop them.
Exactly, and that's why I like them.
We don't know where the show's going to go yet, but it is good to hear that Cavill's out there telling Amazon that it's not going to work. And either they're going to force it and everyone's going to hate it, and Henry Cavill will be hated by everyone for all time ever, or he's going to make them see some light, and they
hated
can't
by a bunch of nerds, though.
They can't force Amazon policy onto everything and get away with it. So anyhow, that's a thing that's out there. Also, speaking of big muscly dudes,
one more piece of news, and then we gotta get into.
I got a couple pieces. Just a couple
pieces. Get in there, run into it. We gotta review movies. I gotta talk about Dracula.
They released images from the Matchbox movie. Matchbox is in the toy cars. The rival and now twin brother of Hot Wheels. Apple TV's putting out a Matchbox thing, but the only images they showed didn't have cars in it. It's just John Cena and Jessica Biel standing there, and they're like, yeah, Matchbox, the movie on Apple TV. No cars at all. It's like, that's all Matchbox is cars. So that's dumb. Also, muscle dudes in movies. Alan Ritchson, did you see the trailer for his Netflix movie, The War Machine?
I did.
Where he's like a Green Beret
or I did see that.
Army Ranger or something like that, and they send him to fight a Metal Gear.
I did see that.
That was kind of cool.
It was kind of cool.
Cool.
I don't know if it would have been cool without him, though.
No, yeah. I mean, the movie looks dumb. I'm not going to lie about it. But the idea of, like, fighting a Metal Gear, like, is kind of cool. I don't know. It looked neat. And then the last thing is something we're going to talk about in just a second, but it's newsworthy because it snuck up. There's a new Liam Neeson movie coming out.
I did see there was a top 10 old guy Liam Neeson like ranked from best to worst, like old, but I didn't go through it. I didn't click through.
Yeah, it's like some sort of sci-fi movie, and he's like a bioterror expert because there's a brain.
Does he have a set of skills?
Yeah, there's a brain controlling fungus or something like that. A mind control fungus in an old army base, and he's like the wise old doctor that knows how to stop it. So he helps him stop it. But who knew? I didn't even know it comes out this week. So
oh man, there's a lot of stuff that comes out this week, and that's why I wanted to hit this next segment because there's more upcoming releases this week than we normally have. Normally it's like one or two that we talk about, but there's a lot of stuff coming out this week, and I'm not going to cover all of it because not all of it is worth covering.
Well, there you go.
But Cold Storage,
Oh, yeah,
that's what he's talking about. It's coming out this week. You can check that out. Also, Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, which is coming out in kind of very, very limited release. I'm not going to talk too much about that because there are other movies that we need to cover. I'm also not going to talk too heavily about Crime 101, which is coming out this week. It's Chris Hemsworth and Mark Ruffalo and Halle Berry, and that Barry Keoghan or whatever is blowing up ever since he was in that Scottish movie. He looks funny to me. I don't like the way his eyes. I don't like his eyes. I don't like his face.
I understand what you're saying.
I don't like his face. And everyone's like, he's so hot and sexy. I was like, because he looks weird? Like, is that? I don't know. Anyway, whatever.
I don't like you. My friend doesn't like you either.
I don't like you either.
Yeah, I'll be.
Your face is ugly in 3 systems.
Yeah.
And
I'll be happy to not see the trailers for this crap anymore.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of trailers. It's about an elusive thief eyeing his final score encounters a disillusioned insurance broker at their own crossroads. As their paths intertwine, a relentless detective trails them, hoping to thwart a multi-million-dollar heist that they're planning.
It looks exactly like another Black Hat or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, if I was surprised that Steven Soderbergh did not direct this. This looks like one of those like Soderbergh, I need to grab some money so I can make some weird movie. But you know, it's like, hey, let's get like this ensemble cast and do this formula, but and call it Crime 101, which is also very kind of on the nose of like, yeah, we've seen this before. So that's coming out in theaters this week as well. Also coming out, another CGI animals doing people things, which you know I love so much. Goat, because I'm guessing in some Hollywood studio, from the creators of Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse and K-pop Demon Hunters and some other stuff, they were like, somebody's kid was in the meeting, was like, oh yeah, that guy's the GOAT, or talking about like a basketball player, and they're like, what does that mean? Greatest of all time? And they go, what if we made a basketball movie about the greatest of all time, but it was CGI animals, and the greatest of all time was an actual goat? Yeah, it just sells itself, dude. Let's go get steaks at Ruth's Chris. And like, this movie, I can't. Like, give me Space Jam 3 before you give me this. And I didn't even like Space Jam 2, and that's telling you how much I don't want to see this.
Nobody liked Space Jam.
No, it was so bad. And
if that helps put to rest the debate of who's the real GOAT, Michael Jordan, people liked that one.
People liked that one. But this movie looks real bad. It's got the voices of the people. It's got Nick Kroll, of course. It's got
that is like definitely like of course.
Of course,
like, dude. If you had to name one person doing a voice in this movie, you're like, it's gonna be Nick Kroll.
Nick Kroll
doing
and Patton Oswalt gonna be in it. Yes,
same voice he does in everything.
Stephen Curry's in it. David Harbour's in it. Jennifer Lewis is in it. I mean, Jennifer Hudson. You've got a lot of voices. Jelly Roll is for whatever reason in it as well. You know, who's also coming to Northwest Arkansas to play with Post Malone here at our football field, and that's a weird move. But anyway, yeah, don't care. But the Goat, or just Goat, not the Goat, but Goat is coming out in theaters this week. But the two that I wanted to mention. One, I probably won't see because I don't know. Like, I don't want to punish myself like this, but I know it's going to make all the money. And, like, they're going to have to squeegee the floors of every theater after this. But Wuthering Heights is coming out this week. You know, it's written and directed by Emerald Fennell. It's got, of course, Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi. Everybody wants to just see them bone in a shed, and they're gonna roll in the hay, and it's gonna be sexy and forbidden. It's a Danielle Steele like cover art come to life.
It is exactly like that. You're 100%.
It's as if, like, some dude went to ChatGPT and Gronk and Midjourney and was like, hey, imagine the cover art of all the Danielle Steele movies, but with Wuthering Heights and these two. Go. And it was like, oh, man, but also make it A24-esque. And, yeah, so it's coming Valentine's. Get horny. Get ready. As Vince just said on Twitch, so Bo does not have great expectations about great expectations. I mean, it's going to be a gorgeous film to watch. Rad Brian on Twitch says, I want to see that. I just hope they don't kill it. The old Wuthering Heights movie was really good. And I agree. It was very good. And I think that, you know, they got two people that have a lot of, like, pop sexual capital right now. And they're like, let's just roll them in the hay. Let's just... Milady, this horse needs riding. And you're like, what do you mean by that, me lord? And this is forbidden. You're just a stable boy. And, you know, it's a tale as old as time. And it's sexy, and it, you know, it's going to be probably pretty good. But I don't think that my weak constitution and disbelief in romance can make me actually stomach this movie. So it's time. We're gonna check it out. So
that's another one. I'll be glad when the media tour for it and everything is over with, because I'm tired of seeing like, oh, Margot Robbie's so codependent on Frankenstein boy, and I'm just like,
I'm just so tired of like going, let's go to Yorkshire moors and continue to perpetuate gender dynamic stereotypes between love power dynamics and call it sexy, and then immediately come out of it with great expectations that will never be unmet because of our current expectations of the way that love dynamics works. Anyway, don't get me started on why this stuff drives me crazy, but Wuthering Heights is coming into theaters this weekend. But the movie that I want to see, that I'm extremely excited about, because anything and everything that Sam Rockwell is in, I'm gonna watch. And
anything and everything.
Is there a movie that you're gonna be like, what movie?
Well, did you watch that one with old Bryce Dallas Howard in it?
Yes, I did.
Oh, did you? I watched that. Yeah. I didn't know.
I mean,
you watched it.
It's Sam Rockwell. I have to. Sam Rockwell has some sort of pull over me that I will watch every movie that he's in.
What about that Netflix one with all Sing It Girl?
Oh yes, I did watch that, and I can't remember the name of it. But I mean, I love Sam Rockwell. He is a, I mean, I won't say underrated actor, because he has been in so many things and has, you know, gotten accolades. But he's not like a big A-list, like Argyle. I watched Argyle.
That's the name of the movie.
I went just because it was Sam Rockwell.
I went because I thought it could be cool, and it ended up being extremely dumb.
Dude, I love Sam Rockwell.
Dude, you watched Trolls World Tour?
I did, actually.
The first Trolls is pretty good.
Yeah, I watched it. But like Seven Psychopaths, Three Billboards, Moon, those are all major Sam Rockwell. Like what's the Hitchhiker's Guide? Like, I mean, I just love this dude. Anyway, whatever.
Galaxy Quest,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, regular or menthol. Like, give it to me, Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
He's that guy.
Yeah.
But it's good luck, have fun, don't die. It's directed by Gore Verbinski, which, again, another director who's very visually engaging. Doesn't do a whole lot of movies all the time, but the ones that he do are always very visually overwhelming. I mean, you like Lone Ranger, hated that movie, but visually, maybe because I hate Armie Hammer because he's a cannibalistic like.
Well, but
he's
it was
an
also
Epsteiner,
Johnny Depp playing Tonto in like a very weird,
which was not cool.
Yeah.
But Rango, I really, 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 really enjoyed Rango.
Yeah, Rango was good.
Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's
Hold
Chest
on.
was.
You liked Rango?
I did like Rango.
How much was he just bitching about CGI animals doing people things?
I know, but Rango gets a pass. I don't, because it's a noir western,
Yeah.
and that's why it's cool. Is because they weren't like in a city at a coffee shop, you know, like going, oh, this is my day to day. I'm just a fox that works at a pet store. And I'm like, that's a little weird, but you know, I like.
No, instead it was a mean old rattlesnake, and he had to fight a chameleon.
I know, and there's something about a Western noir that I'm like, oh man, it's two genres that were very underrepresented in film in since the 2000s.
Yeah.
Like noirs and westerns have both kind of fallen out of.
I love westerns.
And I love noirs, and so Rango was really good, man. And you know, Pirates of the Caribbean, the Mexican, not my favorite, but also pretty damn good visually. The Budweiser Frogs, yeah, he directed Bud. Like, I mean,
That's cool.
so this movie is guaranteed to be visually interesting, but then they threw Sam Rockwell at the front. Sign me up. And if you don't know what it's about, it looks really cool. It kind of gave me, because I also love Terry Gilliam, it gave me 12 Monkeys vibes. So it's about this guy from the future that arrives in LA, and he's trying to recruit people to help on this one-night quest to save the world from this rogue AI. Because, you know, like 12 Monkeys was about Bruce Willis trying to come back in time and stop the world from this plague and, you know, all this kind of stuff. And it seems very similar, but in a significantly more humorous fashion. So I'm pretty
Well, in this is
pretty excited.
You don't know if he really is from the future, right? He might just be like
a dirty hobo.
Right.
Yeah, but it looks great. I'm excited about it. Can't wait. That's coming out in theaters this weekend. That's the one I'm going to see. So there you have it. So with that, let's review some movies.
Yeah. Also, Vince pointed out that Rango was a success. I did not realize that. With as few people as have ever really talked about it as there has been.
It was definitely a success. Well, I know I have a lot to say about Dracula. I know you said you didn't have a whole lot to say about your movie, so I'll let you jump in and go first.
Yeah, I can talk about The Wrecking Crew.
And I'll just have a sip of whiskey.
Yeah, you do that. I watched the new Amazon movie, The Wrecking Crew, with old Jason Momoa and Batista. And it's about these two half-brothers who are both estranged from their father.
Related only by muscle.
Yeah, and their father is a private detective in Hawaii that is ran over and killed, but then the Yakuza come knocking on Jason Momoa's door and where he lives in Oklahoma, so he makes his journey back to the island so that he can be muscle bros. And man, every reason that I'm worried about him being Lobo is on full display in this movie.
Does he do the same thing? It's like, I got hair and glasses. Wow.
He does that a lot, quite a bit. And in fact, for 5 minutes during, right before and in the middle of a fight scene with Yakuza, he slaps his naked penis on his thighs as just the funniest joke of all time. And he yells, sword fight and helicopter. This is
What is he, Bad Kermit?
Do
Do you subscribe to Bad Kermit on Instagram?
Oh yeah.
Helicopter.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah.
Those are funny. He's taking a pee when the Yakuza come to ask him for the package that his father sent to him.
Different package.
And he's like, well, while my dingus is out, I'm just gonna throw it around, and it makes skin slap noises, and it's just the dumbest.
Would you call
thing.
that form of comedy slapstick?
But it's very hashtag PP. It's very Jason Momoa, and he doesn't play a character in this movie. He plays Jason Momoa. And I've said it before, I like Jason Momoa. There's things that I do like him in. I'm one of the fans of his Conan the Barbarian. There's things that he's done that I'm like, well, he's a pretty cool guy. But he's just Jason Momoa in this movie. And then Batista is just like, tired,
too old for this shit.
tired old guy, but also like a Navy SEAL that can thump you if he wants
What's
to.
Dave Bautista going to be in pretty soon that we're like, he's the bad guy? And we're like, is Bautista like the right choice? I can't remember what it was. It was something, it was like 2 episodes ago we were talking about Bautista.
I don't know.
Nah, I don't remember either.
But so, yeah, they go back to Hawaii, and then Jason Momoa is just a drunk idiot, and he's trying to solve his dad's murder, and he's like, yeah, Dad was murdered, I can't believe it, and then he ropes Bautista into it, and then it's just 2 hours of everyone being like, well, aren't you a couple of big muscle boys? Oh, you're looking for your dad's killer? Well, now we have to kill you. And then they kill those guys. And there's also like 0 consequences to all of the insane action in this movie.
That generally happens.
Like they get caught and grabbed by the police, and the police are like, hey, you killed like 37 people.
But you guys look pretty cool.
But they were trying to hurt you. So y'all just go walk free. Let us know if you find more clues in this case so that we can help. And then the Yakuza come in, or like they go on this whole like highway, and they minigun 500 people to death on this highway, and no one says a word about it. Not one consequence comes of it. And not only that, but while people are watching other cars be gunned into oblivion and blowing up and blocking all traffic, somehow more cars show up and just continue to drive in traffic like it's no problem until they get bulleted to death. And it's just the dumbest thing. It's also a very predictable paint-by-numbers BS movie.
It definitely gave that.
You know the bad guy from 3 seconds. You know the big bad guy from 3 seconds in. And then you know the violent bad guy from about 15 seconds
The mini
in.
boss.
Yeah, so you know like who has the evil team up and why they're doing it. Very early on, you're like, oh, it's that guy and that guy. And then they like try
just waiting.
They try to play it like a mystery for every bit of half the movie for one guy, and they wait until the very end to be like, oh, this guy's evil. Would you believe it? And you're like, yeah, dude, I watched it from a mile away, bro.
Vince asks on Twitch, he says, Jake, was this good bad, or was it fun to make fun of, or was it just bad?
It was bad.
Okay.
You can put this on and do stuff and just listen to it. You're not going to miss anything if you don't see something. You're not going to miss anything if you don't hear something. It is very much a like have it on while you're doing chores type of movie.
Yeah.
Just to have something going on in the background. But there was nothing new. There was nothing fresh. Bautista really faded into the background a lot, which was disappointing. Jason Momoa stood out from the foreground too much, which was overwhelming. And then like what's her name? Baccarin, Maria Baccarin. I can't remember her first name.
Something like that.
Her character is like a Deus Ex Machina like type thing. She just like she's a nobody, but then all of a sudden she's like the ultimate computer hacker, and she can drive a minivan like she's Keiichi Tsuchiya, and just the ultimate getaway driver, and she's better than everyone else at everything out of the blue with 0 explanation. And then of course they set the movie up for a sequel because there's a bigger mystery to solve. And now that the half brothers who have hated each other for 20 years.
Do you think it'll get a sequel?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, gross.
Now that they're on the same page, they're going to clean up Hawaii together.
All right. Well, and it's streaming on Netflix, right?
Amazon
Prime.
Yeah, it's a Prime video.
original.
It's sum it up. It's super dumb. It's paint by number. Momoa is Momoa in it, and everyone else is nothing. So,
okay, well, it's there on Amazon Prime. If you want to check it out, you can. In the Twitch comments, I wanted to, before I start talking about Dracula, Rad Brian commented that, side note, we bought the giant Super Bowl popcorn of the popcorn bag from the movies. It was a ton of popcorn, very large, like the size of a large child. What do you do with that much popcorn? Like when you have leftover movie popcorn, like so for me, when I get a bucket of popcorn at the movies and I don't finish it, well, I put it in the trash, right? And and I really do love movie theater popcorn, like Flavacol, coconut oil, like it does the thing. It's like, mwah. I mean, I keep Flavacol at my house for that reason, because it just feels right. It feels right, like, like peeing outside. And but like, what do you do with leftover popcorn? Do you like air fry it? Like, how do you like revitalize movie theater popcorn on like day 2,
I'm sure there's
or even
people-
day 3? Like,
there's bound to be some sort of like
are there
hack on YouTube.
How do you like
for it.
Frankenstein? Like, you're like, it's alive, and you like pull the switch, and the kernels start popping again, and you're like, ah, ha, 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 and you eat it, and it's delicious. I don't know that science yet, and I'd like to know. So yeah, drop your reheating movie popcorn like hacks into the comments while I talk about Dracula. So I went and saw Dracula in the theaters this week, and I think a very important note. This is written and directed by Luc Besson. Luc Besson, of course, a very visually oriented French director.
How people going to be calling out Kid Rock and not calling out Luc Besson?
I mean, yeah, Luc Besson, odd guy, but La Femme Nikita rules. The Leon freaking rules. The Fifth Element freaking rules. I actually liked Arthur and the Invisibles quite a bit. A lot of people didn't. I liked Valerian in the City of a Thousand Planets because I also liked Valerian, the comic. The Transporter, hey, there's Luc Besson has done some cool stuff. I like Le Grand Bleu, which was from 1988. I thought was a really cool movie.
Did he direct Transporter, or did he
Subway
just
was pretty
come
cool.
up with the original idea of
And
Transporter?
he did the TV series. He did. I think he wrote the screenplay. That's another thing about Luc Besson that a lot of people don't realize. He's been writing screenplays since he was 16. Because he wrote Fifth Element when he was 16. And he writes so many screenplays. But some of the movies that come out that are Luc Besson movies are not always great. But Dracula came out, and I think it's very important to note that the original title of this movie and the French title of this movie, which Luc Besson is French, is Dracula, a love tale. And there's a colon and 3 other words that follow this. It's Dracula, a love tale. And I think that's very, 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 very important to go in watching this movie, because this movie is based, of course, it gives being very, very deeply rooted in the Bram Stoker's novel, of something I'm a huge fan of. And I think, what is it, May 14th, if I'm not mistaken? Somebody in the comments can Google it. That's the day each year you should start reading Dracula, because that's the first date of the first letter from Jonathan Harker writing to Mina. And that's how you can read it day by day, in real time with the letters and all this kind of stuff. And it's kind of fun. Anyway, this movie has an interesting cast, and it's starring Caleb Landry Jones as Vlad Dracula. May 3rd. Okay, I was close. Thank you. And Christoph Waltz, who is the priest. He's not credited as a Van Helsing. He never says he's a Van Helsing. He's also a man of a god, kind of unlike Van Helsing. And so there's already deviations at play. I will say, just right out the go, I was kind of like, oh man, Caleb Landry Jones is kind of an odd-looking guy, and Dracula is kind of supposed to be this sort of sexy on the outside, terrifying on the inside kind of deal. But this guy is just a weird-looking guy immediately. But man, can Caleb Landry Jones act. Like, he's a really good actor, and he nails the performance, and I think that he carries this movie on his shoulders. And the visual aspects are really great, but there is a lot of deviations from the Bram Stoker novel, and those, if you're going into this movie wanting to see a Bram Stoker's Dracula adaptation, this is not it. Like, this is most certainly not it, because the novel, while there is romance in it, it is not the driving force of the movie. Of course, Dracula falls in love with Mina because he looks like his wife from 400 years ago and all this kind of things. but they take what kind of like Francis Ford Coppola did with his Bram Stoker's Dracula and leaned a little more into the romance because, you know, every sex sells, as they say in Hollywood. And Luke kind of doubled down on the screenplay because I think, and to me, and then this is going to comment to Brian because I know he and I wanted to talk about this movie, is as times have changed throughout generations, right? You know, horror is an interesting genre, and horror, you know, reflects like fears of the time. And I think, you know, when we see the, you know, 1970s and 80s versions of Dracula, and then the 90s versions of Dracula, and then he's always like, vampires have always been a sexy thing. That's kind of what makes them scary, is because they're alluring. They have this irresistible allure to them, you know, and the sort of promise of eternal life, but at what cost, right? But then you're like, oh, you're this horrible monster. But
Nosferatus aren't sexy.
Nosferatus aren't sexy, but Nosferatu was a great value Dracula. You know why Nosferatu exists, right? Because they couldn't
have the rights.
They didn't have the rights in like the 30s.
We'll go make our own Dracula with blackjack and hookers.
Right. Yeah. And as Brian said on Twitch, he did not cross oceans of time to find her. He crossed a frozen lake, and you know, that was a powerful scene. But yes, you know, they cut out a lot of this stuff, but doubled down on the love story, right? And I think that, you know, with the Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, which was all of a love story, I think so much of right now in modern cinema, we are looking for these love stories that it's like, oh, you know, it's horrible. There's monstrous. There's bad decisions, but we did it all for love, right? And there's an added layer of sexiness into this, and I think that some people went in this wanting a classic Dracula, wanting a horror movie, and didn't get it. This guy's like, I've been horny for 400 years, you know, and the whole perfume thing, which I thought was a little interesting take, but because instead of entrancing people, he had this scent. But bless you, Jake.
How do you remember what someone looks like for 400 years when photographs didn't exist?
Well, have you ever loved someone? Have you ever loved a woman? Like,
Never
come
been
on, Jake.
400 years old.
Well, I'm telling you, he's like, if you loved a woman the way that Dracula loved Elizabeth, you know, you'd be like, you'd be just sitting there like obsessing over it. That was his whole life, and I think enough to
forge a pact with the devil to become a vampire.
Yeah, dude. Well, so that was the thing, is like he cursed God for doing all of these evil, unspeakable acts in the name of God, and the one thing he wanted, he didn't get. And he's like, well, F you then. And so this became like a redemption thing, which was also kind of a weird twist at the end, is they made Dracula so much of a hero character in this that was the one thing that I kind of didn't really like, is, you know, there was sort of, you sympathized with him too much. Okay, so going into the comments, Brian said, I thought the perfume thing was very romantic. It was cool how it was made. And I thought the scenes of him using the perfume, the scent, but he also didn't have a lot of the mind control, you know, but he did have telekinetic powers. So I thought that those two things didn't line up. But I also enjoyed the perfume thing, where it showed another layer of passion and drive to find ways to explore the world and find what he wanted in the name of love, which I thought was really cool. And aromas and scents are also one of these things that are associated with romance. You know, have you ever seen, what is the name? I think it's Perfume. Somebody in the comments help me out, because I'm drawing a name, or I'm drawing a blank on the name, but it's a really, really, really great movie, and it's about a perfume maker who has this amazing nose, and he starts killing people for scents. And oh my God, what is the name of this movie? It's fantastic. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend it. And okay, it's just called Perfume. Thank you, Vince. I'm not crazy.
He can't go collect beaver butt glands and whale puke like everyone else.
I'm sure they were in there. It was irresistible. But I think that this movie kind of started to fail a little bit as a Dracula movie because it went a little over the top in some ways. I think some of the things, the convent scene was pretty awesome. But then, they had the gargoyles. I didn't really like the gargoyles. And there was a weird scene at the end where the gargoyles kind of come out as like healed children or whatever with no explanation. I thought that that could have been left out because it just left too many questions to the imagination. But there was the Dracula in this movie he never turned into a wolf, he never turned into smoke, he never turned into bats, he never hypnotized anybody, but he did have like telekinesis and could close doors and light torches and all this kind of stuff.
He didn't do any of the cool stuff.
But he had like these gargoyles that like did his bidding instead of like the 3 hot vamp honeys that like rolled in his castle and were like sucking off Jonathan Harker and making him forget Mina and being like, oh, you want a vampire sucky, like, and they were just giving it to him all night long, which is like such a cool scene. But they didn't have any of that.
Gargoyles are supposed to be protectors of like
the castle,
Christian things and stuff like
but
that.
But he was a Christian, and I think maybe that was his way of just again doing a few God.
Converting gargoyles.
Yes, in servitude to him. And I bet that there was imagery there, but it felt a little cartoonish at times. I didn't mind an occasional like gargoyle servant, but at a certain point it started to get a little hokey. I will say one thing that I really did enjoy about but as Brian just pointed out on Twitch, the brides were not in the movie, and they are so crucial to the story. And Lucy, the character of Lucy, was changed up a little bit, and Lucy is his whole entryway into the new world, because he travels to London, but in this he goes to Paris because Luc Besson's French and he's gonna make it very French.
Did he see someone's underpants?
Oh, there was underpants
because he went to London, France.
He did see some. There were some underpants, but I had to keep thinking about how this, did I really want to see a complete, just another page-for-page retelling of Bram Stoker's Dracula? And after having a conversation actually with one of the viewers, Brian, they were telling me a little bit about what they thought about it, and it got me thinking before I went into the movie. So I appreciate that, because it got me thinking, like, do I really just want to see another page-for-page adaptation? And this one is called Dracula: A Love Story, which is already a departure from the novel in a way where the novels, it is about love, but it's not only about love. Like, Dracula's still a bad guy. And this one, the way that it ends, there's a redemption arc. There's a whole lot of things. There's a lot of different things that have changed. Some of the crucial things that changed did make me leaving more like wanting. I thought that Christoph Waltz, I wish that he was just Van Helsing and not just some priest. And the Lucy change was weird. The brides were weird.
Maybe he was a Belmont instead.
Oh, geez. Dun, dun, dun. I could take a Castlevania, but that Dracula in the Castlevania animated series, again, a very romantic Dracula. I think it's pretty cool. Vince on Twitch says it would have been cool if they used Dracula Dead and Loving It as the source material. But that is again another very closer adaptation to Dracula, the Bram Stoker story. It's actually more of a page for page of the Coppola Bram Stoker's Dracula. But this is how storytelling works, and I think that this is one of the reasons that I'm giving this movie a pass, because I think when I left this movie, I enjoyed it overall because it's vampires, and I think that's cool. It's Luc Besson. It's beautiful. The lead role, Caleb Landry Jones, was out of control. Like, I could watch it again probably, but I have to think about how stories evolve over time. And when you have a property like Dracula's not an IP in the sense that the Avengers are, like, this is something that's hundreds of years old. And this is a folk tale, kind of, that turned into a novel, that eventually turned into a silent film at the dawn of film, that turned into, and the story has been evolving over time. And it's a kind of a freaking miracle that it stayed pretty close to the source material after all this time. And to that, I have to kind of give it props to where they were able to make it kind of a sexy romance, and still keep it very Dracula. And as Brian said, the carnival scene was beautiful too. The carnival scene was really, really fantastic. Like Luc Besson, when he gets on one, can make a visual. He can tell a visual story. So, and as Brian just said on Twitch, justice for Mina. She never got her French chocolate clod. There was a lot of weird and different things. Some of it worked really, really well. Some of it didn't. Tony Jones said the score was great. It was Danny Elfman. I would say 75% of the score nailed it. But I also think that Danny Elfman was definitely taking a little bit of signal from the Francis Ford Coppola, which was, oh my God, who did the score to that? Oh man, because I should know this, because I love that score. It's so freaking good. But the like the heavy strings. I think that reminded me a little bit of the 90s version. But there was a 25% that did feel a little campy and did feel a little bit out of place. Brian on Twitch just said the score reminded him of Wednesday some of the time. And yeah, I mean, that's a Danny Elfman thing. Because there were some scenes where the music felt a little out of place. But 75%, like I was locked in because it was pretty good. Now, hang on, no one's thrown it in the comments, so I have to find it. Score. I know who it is. It's Wojciech Kilar. Duh. Wojciech Kilar did the score to the original. Yeah, dude, the Wojciech Kilar Dracula score is just like, oh my God, it's so good. And if you go back and you listen to that and you kind of pair it with what Danny Elfman did, I think that, he borrowed a lot of those same themes but kind of made it new. And I think that that's cool because I think a lot of people, going back to what I was saying about the evolution of storytelling through time, depending on where you were and who you were and what version of the story you grew up hearing first, is kind of where it solidifies in your mind as a baseline. And, like Star Wars, for example.
I was going to say, what happens when people that grew up with What We Do in the Shadows first?
Or the TV series first and go back and see the show. And they're like, oh, it's this movie. This movie doesn't make anything. The TV is what I know. Or when you see the TV or the movie first, and you go, well, the first season of the TV show is just the movie, just stretched out. It's like that's your baseline. Brian on Twitch says, yes, the Coppola score. It's just, it's so good. If you ever just want to sit during a thunderstorm and listen to the Wojciech Kilar Dracula score.
Don't leave your window unlocked.
The creatures of the night, what music they make. It's just, yeah.
Well, what about people that have Christopher Lee as their...
Christopher Lee.
That's a good Dracula.
That is a good Dracula. But you think about these different versions of Dracula. Like, who is your Dracula? Is Gary Oldman your Dracula? Is Christopher Lee your Dracula? Is Bela Lugosi your Dracula?
What was it? Was it Billy and Mandy that had, like... the Black Dracula.
Blackula?
Yeah.
Yeah, Blackula. No, now Blackula is actually a really good movie.
They're like...
And it's February, Black History Month. I used to do a whole show about blaxploitation cinema and how important it was.
True.
But I can't play all that amazing music anymore. And the Blackula score is actually really good.
Yeah, there was a cartoon character from like Adventures of Billy and Mandy who's really goofy. He has a big old mustache.
He does.
Yeah.
And who was the Blackula hunter from Venture Brothers? He was a vampire hunter, but he only killed Blackulas.
I don't know. You're the Venture Brothers guy. Or what happens if your first Dracula is Eddie Murphy?
Oh, Vampire in
Vampire in
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn?
Well, Vampire
Yeah.
in Brooklyn, again, another adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula, which is arguably pretty freaking good.
That one's actually a pretty scary movie.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And you know, another thing that I really, 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 really missed from the Dracula A Love Tale is there was no Renfield. And they tried to blend Renfield with Lucy and kind of create this other sort of new character. But Lucy's great and Renfield's great, and I think that they're both very important to the story. But I think that Renfield is such a big character that it would have taken away from the love story because Caleb Landry Jones just commanded everything, and he just needed all the screen time. And I think, you know, I mean, you're not gonna put.
I mean, Dracula or Frankenstein also didn't have Igor in its movie.
No,
Maybe Renfield and Igor are
they're just getting
on,
nixed.
They're on strike.
Sidekicks are
Yeah.
getting nixed. But overall, I'm glad I watched it. I'm glad I saw it in a theater. I think that it holds up in the pantheon of adaptations of the Dracula tale. Is it perfect? No. Is it sexy and worth viewing? Absolutely. Are there a billion other shitty vampire movies out there that you could poo-poo before this one? 100%. But I think I'm not mad at Luc Besson about this one. I definitely had a lot of misgivings with this one, but because, and going back to the very, very beginning of this review, because it was called Dracula, A Love Story, I'm willing to give it a little bit more grace than if it was. I wish they had not dropped that and just called it Dracula. I think that was a really bad move because it changed my expectations of this film. And did you see the Dracula, the BBC like 3-episode? Really good, really good. Third episode a little weird. First two, fantastique.
I mean, it's a horror, and it was on the BBC. I'm not gonna see it.
And so, like Brian just said, liked it overall, 7 out of 10. Yeah, we don't give number ratings on the show, but I also liked it overall. I would recommend it. Is it in the top 5 of my Dracula adaptations or vampire movies? No, but it is. It scratched the itch. I'm glad I saw it. There we go. So. Yes, but Vince says Bo is going to go to every screening and say, actually, the original title. Yes.
You're going to print out a stack of flyers,
Oh.
hand it to everyone walking in.
Brian did point out the nod to the Dracula and the armor was cool. Dude, the armor in this one was it was up there.
Oh, that's true. There's that
That was so cool.
there's the Dracula with old dude in it, where that one that came out.
The one that we've been talking about this whole time?
No, a couple years back with the red armor. He had like the.
That's the one I'm talking about with Gary Oldman. The red armor that looks
No,
like muscles.
There was no Gary Oldman.
The muscle armor, the red muscle armor with the
No.
wolf horns.
No. The one with Luke.
Dracula 2000.
No, the one with Luke Evans and Tywin Lannister.
Oh, yeah, he's always in like vampire, not Underworld.
No, it was just it was a couple years back.
Order of the Dragon.
It was like the origin of Dracula and all this, and he like went to the cave, and there was like the old. Oh, why can't I remember the actor's
but
name?
the Dracula armor, like the headpiece in this one was sick. Super
Dracula Untold.
Cool. Dracula
Thank you.
Untold. There it
Yeah.
was. And he comes out of that cave, and he's like a whirlwind of bats.
Yeah.
Is that the one who goes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Messes all those dudes up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he wishes for the power, and like the cave creature's like, all right, let me bite you, and you can have it. And he's like, all right, yeah, bite me.
Thanks. And he
Yeah.
rips out of there and kills all those dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that one. That one was not bad either.
Dude. It wasn't as dumb as I thought it was gonna
Yeah,
be.
I like Dracula Untold. So, I mean, I am a sucker for a Dracula story. And
Like
this,
Morbius.
This one, I saw that one in theaters too. So, yeah, the Gary Oldman armor is top tier. One of these days, if I knew somebody that had a 3D printer and a lot of time, then I might. There are renders out there for the Gary Oldman armor.
Hey, something I want to share with members of our Discord. Since I posted about that VHS Kickstarter campaign, I did back that.
Okay.
So I will expect like a Ludo in the background.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, okay. Well, we're going a little overtime tonight talking about Dracula because I love talking about Draculas. They're one of my favorite things. So I'm gonna hand it back over to Jake here. We're gonna give you the box office roundup through the weekend, February 6th through 8th, 2026. He's gonna give you the top 10 movies in the United States. We'll throw some global numbers in there as well. But take it away, Jake.
Dude, crazy to see this. Melania is at number 10, second week out from Amazon.
And it even increased more theaters.
Yeah, 2.3 million brought in by that one, bringing its total up to 13.3 so far.
So do you think the bots stopped buying tickets to this?
Amazon assured everyone that the ratings aren't from bots and all this, and I don't know.
Bullshit.
It's just weird to see it that it's still there. And then at number 9, Shelter, second week out, brought in another 2.4 million, bringing its total up to right at $10 million. Sorry about it, Jason Statham. And then at number 8, dropping out of the top 5, Avatar: Fire and Ash, $3.47 million. 8th week out has brought in $391.5 million. Another $1 billion, $48 million elsewhere. So it is just under $1.5 billion.
That's a bunch of billions.
And then opening at number 7, a movie no one even knew was coming out except for when we had said something last week. The Strangers Chapter 3 opening weekend brought in just under $3.5 million.
I told you that this one was like, there's no way this one's going to open well. No one cares anymore.
And then at number 6, the only movie to ever make more money than Avatar, in its 11th week out, Zootopia 2 brought in $4 million, bringing its domestic total up to $414.5. Another $1.39 billion.
That's crazy.
Bringing its total up to $1.8 billion. It's
1.8.
Yeah.
1.8.
I think part of its success being an animated movie is it's easier to dub overseas.
Maybe so.
Maybe that's part of it.
So. I don't know.
And then opening at the number 5 spot, a movie you just talked to us about, Dracula, brought in $4.4 million so far. Had a big, strong opening overseas. Maybe it's been open a little longer.
It has been open a little bit longer.
Just under 30 million so far, so it's at about 33.6 million total at this point. And then at number 4, opening at number 4, Stray Kids, the Dominate all cap experience, $5.7 million. I don't even know.
Bleecker Street Media, just one of those weird things
out of nowhere
for
things.
kids.
And
it made a lot of money considering it was only in 1,700 theaters, though.
Yeah, maybe it's a thing that we just don't know. And then at number
we don't have kids.
Oh yeah. At number 3, Iron Lung brought in another $6 million, making it where Markiplier has brought in almost $31 million.
Pretty cool to see because
in the U.S. alone.
So what you guys may not know about Iron Lung. This is a completely new style of produced film in theaters because he funded this. He was just like, well, I want to make this movie. I'm a big fan of YouTuber. I'm just going to do it. No studio wants to do it. I'm going to do it. And he did it.
The only criticism I've heard about it is that it's a little long for its what the story requires it to be. But I guess it's supposed to be just like the game it's based on. Everyone says that overall it's actually like a really
Is it kind of like
well
Inner
done.
Space with Martin Short?
No, because Inner Space has lots of action. And this is like one guy inside of an iron lung in a sea of blood on some planet.
Okay, not like shrunk down tiny in a person's body.
No, he's like diving under the sea on a planet to see what's at the bottom.
But the sea's blood?
The sea is made of blood.
The sea is like the planet's alive?
Yeah, who knows? I don't know. It's based on a game. But it's doing very well. So good job, Markiplier. And then opening at number 2, the Kevin James movie, which...
Angel Studios, man.
Yeah, has been, I guess it's doing really well. $7 million for the Left at the Altar in Paris movie.
Coincidentally, not doing very well in France.
Well, how about it?
Yeah.
And then at number 1, Send Help.
Which I talked about last week, yes?
Did you?
I think so.
I don't know.
I mean, I saw this movie.
Did you?
Did I review this movie?
I don't know.
I don't even remember. It's good. I think I talked about it. I think I talked about it.
No, I think you were going to watch it.
No, I watched it.
Okay.
I
Well,
think-
it brought in another $9 million. It's brought in.
I don't know.
almost-
Viewers, did I talk about this movie last week?
don't remember
I don't
you
even
talking about
remember.
I don't remember you talking about it. Almost $35 million in the U.S. Some money made elsewhere. I don't remember you talking about it.
How did I not talk about it? Certainly I talked about it.
Vince, when I read something earlier, I also saw that Solo Mio was the number one movie. So somewhere it shifted. So Send Help kept the number one spot. But I did see that Solo Mio was number one. So maybe like one day of the weekend it was number one or something.
Well, if I didn't talk about it too much, I enjoyed it. I didn't like the way it ended. I wanted a more Sam Raimi, everybody loses kind of ending. But it was a fun ride. And I thought I talked about this movie.
I don't remember you talking about it.
Well, I watched it, and it was pretty good.
I did see a lot of people didn't like the ending.
Well, because the ending just wrapped it up too well. And so the cool thing about, like, you know, some Sam Raimi movies is everybody, like in this movie in particular, everybody's a bad guy, right? You know, you start rooting for the person that you hated, and you start hating the person that you were rooting for. And I'm like, oh, that's cool, because everybody is human, right? And then in this one, I kind of just wanted everybody to die and not get rescued, but that's not how it ended up. And you're like, oh man, well, you know, because by the time you establish everyone's a piece of shit, you're kind of like, well, everyone needs justice.
Yeah.
And you didn't get it. So, but also I'm okay with that too, because I like an ending that's not predictable. So anyway. All right. Well,
But there it is.
okay, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. That has been our show. You know how we do it. We are here every Monday night, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Thanks for everybody that tuned in over on all of our different streaming platforms. You can catch us, like us, subscribe to us. We love Twitch because we get there a little bit early and we do a fun little exclusive just for Twitch. But you can get into our Discord. You can find all of those links for all the fun Drive-In Speakerbox content that you want over at driveinspeakerbox.com. Vince over there saying, "Come on back next time, Rad Brian. We had a good time." So yeah, get on that Discord, shoot us a message, chat with us. Otherwise, I guess we'll just see you next week. I'm gonna go see Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die.
I'm going to find something to watch.
You don't want to see that?
Maybe there'll be a super sick Indian movie to watch.
Sam Rockwell, though.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you later.
As you leave the theater, folks, please be careful. Don't let this happen to your car. Be sure to remove the speaker before you leave. If you should accidentally pull a speaker loose, please turn it in at our snack bar or box office. Thank you.